she had won poetry contests and all these other things. So I want you to really think about, revisit how it is you got to the career or job that you were currently in. Because I would venture to say that in many of your cases, you probably weren't supposed to be there in the first place. So this is really an opportunity for you to truly reinvent yourself and really choose the direction that really is closest to who you are. Now, maybe 5 years ago, or less than that, whatever, people might be like, well, I have to have security. Banking industry collapse. So what other more secure, in most people's minds, jobs were there? I'm just going to go work in banking because that's, a secure job. There is no such thing as security. There really isn't. So at the end of the day, you might as well do something that you really like to do. So that's really where you need to start. Because otherwise it's just a waste of time and energy. Because you want to be as strategic and focused as you possibly can to get to where it is you want to get to. So you need to start there. And I know probably some of you, I've got mortgage, I've got student loans, I've got this degree, and I guarantee you there's a way to make it work. There's a reason why you did some of those things that you did. Nothing's for waste, there's no regrets. But there's a way to use all of those experiences, connections, skills, just perhaps in a different way. After you go through this process, so your number one job is to figure out who you are and what you want to be doing. That's it. And that might be your job right now, to really just figure that out, to spend actually time with yourself and exploring things to really determine what that is. That might be your job right now. Because then at the end of the day, after at least you've done that work and you've really figured out what that is, then either A, you go in a different direction and you pursue that, or you're reinvigorated and you're like really psyched because you're like, yeah, this is what I am. This is what I love to do. And then you'll be a much more effective candidate for the job that you're looking for because you really own it. And that will come across to whoever's the hiring manager, whoever's sitting across from you. You also, whatever the work that you're doing, and I don't care what it is, this is the other thing that drives me nuts, is that people think, oh, I want to help people, right? I want to help you, so I should work for a nonprofit, or I should go work with Mother Teresa in Calcutta. Those things are great. But whatever it is that you want to do, that's your gift, that's your talent, if it's knitting these crazy creations, if it's singing, if it's just organizing, whatever it is, that's your gift. That's what you have to share with the rest of us. And so it's not about saving the world, because as long as we each do our little bits and parts, it'll all work out, right? And also, imagine what the subway ride would be like if everyone was kind of doing what they're supposed to be doing. There'd be less crime, there'd be less divorce, there'd be like a lot of things that would be, a little bit better if we all just, society or whatever, the way that we do things now is so backwards in a lot of ways. By you doing that and having the courage to really create this authentic, more authentic life for yourself, you're actually serving as an example for other people. And you're giving them permission to do the same, and you're giving them inspiration and motivation to do the same. So it really serves on many levels if you take the time and the courage to do it. Remember, courage has the root in it, the word core, for heart. So it goes back to doing what you love. Right? So if you do what you love, the passion comes through. I believe in money eventually follows. It might not be the amount of money that you're used to or that you want, but we'll talk about that. You might need to redefine what that is for you, what success is, what prosperity is for you. Really, your time and your energy is your most precious resource. So if you are 40 plus, right, 40 hours minimum usually if you're working full time, if you're spending all of this time doing whatever it is that you're doing, it's a lot of time and energy. So why wouldn't you want to do something that makes sense for you? not saying it's going to be 100% perfect. Nothing is. You know, and you'll have times of stress and times, you know, life is life. But the majority of the time, you should feel like you're contributing something, you're getting something out of it. It makes sense so that when you do have those stressful times, it's bearable. Because it's like, okay, well, I like this, it's just a stressful or busy time right now. But it's your time and your energy. So at the end of the day, really at the end of the day, when you're, I don't know, 114, those ladies just died away, the oldest people, 114. So we should all live to be that long. At 114, when you look back at your life, say, what did I do? What did I do with all that time and my energy, and my talents and my gifts? I mean, really, it's a little bit morbid, but it's not, because it's reality. When you look back, what have you done? You know, what have you done? I think it's really important to think about that. Really also about making, if your job, I mean, there's some people like myself, I wanted my job to really be my life. I didn't really want, I'm like, I just want my life to be my job kind of thing. That's not for everyone, which is totally fine. So you have to determine for yourself what's right for you. So fine, you can go have a job, just make sure it's a job that makes sense for you to the most, you know, to the best of your ability and the best fit it can possibly be. But make sure, and also make sure that that job leaves time and space and energy and money to do those things that you really do love to do. So for instance, if you love riding a mountain bike, you know, like 30 miles a day or something, and if you're working in a job that's 80 hours a week, every other weekend, and you're never able to ride your bicycle, that's not a good job for you. So again, if it's something that like riding, a mountain bike, you most likely cannot make a career out of that. But never say never. But at least if that's something that really fills you, at least get a job that allows you to have that experience on a pretty regular basis. So you want, in other words, you want your job to fit your lifestyle. You don't want your lifestyle to fit your job.